So, the WNBA offseason is going to be mad. 46 days of chaos. The 6th of April, which is 2 weeks away, is the expansion draft. The college tournament is happening right now. Shout out Olivia Miles, the freaking GOAT, who has now likely cemented herself at number 2. And the expectation now is that she's going to go 2 regardless. If Awaz goes 1, AZ probably goes to Seattle. If AZ goes 1, Awa probably goes to Washington. It becomes kind of crazy. But Olivia Miles, shout out to her. I'll talk about her in a video later. And we got to talk about some of the free agency things. And it's been so many things with the expansion draft are mad. From this article from Kendra Andrews. Before we get on to that, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are trying to hit 57,730 subscribers by the end of the day. We're trying to gain 1. We're just trying to gain 1 subscriber. We've been at 57,720 for the last 4 days. So we're just trying to gain 1. That being said, there are some genuinely big things here when it comes down to it. When it comes down to these expansion draft right here. So this is huge, by the way. This is actually huge. Sources told ESPN that neither the Tempo or the Fire, and by the way, if I called them Toronto Raptors, I apologize, that neither the Tempo or the Fire have received any rules about how the expansion draft will work. They have no idea about what's going on. The draft is scheduled for 12 days from now? I think it's 12. Oh, no. 6 is Monday. It is scheduled for 2 weeks. It is in 2 weeks. They have no idea what the rules are. But it should be similar to how the Valkyries. The previous 13 existing teams will be allowed to protect a group of players. The expectations in will be 5. The Tempo will then take turn, and the Fire will take turns selecting players who are unprotected until they each get to 12. According to this year's schedule, they will use April 1st to 5th to finalize player protections before the draft on April the 6th. A coin flip will determine which team selected first. A team does not pick first during the expansions will get the number 6 pick in the... Why do they keep referring to it as the college draft? I have never seen... By the way, I'm somebody that would have pointed this out if this was everywhere last year. Why have they started calling it the college draft in the 1 year where literally half of the first round picks are going to be international players? Sorry, half is very much is an overshooting it. It's going to be 4 players. It will be, without question, Nell Angloma, Iana Martin, and Awafam. And then Frida Booner's probably going to be either late first or in the first couple of picks in the second round. And that's there could be more. There could be more, early second round, you're looking at potentially Saffron Shields being drafted. You just never know who's going to pop up in certain drafts. But that being said, they're going to be getting the 6th pick, or if you pick second, the expansion draft. And unpopular opinion, I don't mind losing 1 pick in this year's draft, especially because it's like last year's draft, where the difference between 6 and 7 is Georgia Amor and Anissa Morrow, and I felt like Anissa Morrow was a better prospect than Georgia Amor. Once you get out of that, in my opinion, that 3, the 3, Lauren Betts, even I understand the idea of Lauren Betts. I don't think Lauren Betts is the greatest player in the world, but I understand why you would take a Lauren Betts. Like a Zach Edey pick where you're look, she's just going to be dominant. I understand why you would take Lauren Betts. If you want to win a championship, I don't understand it. But in a lot of situations, I understand why you take Lauren Betts. But outside of, I think, the big 4 right now, because Flau'jae has dropped a little bit, I understand taking her. Let's just put her as the big 5. The gap between a Kiki Rice and a Latson. If you take Kiki Rice above Latson, Latson could be the better player. Nell Angloma could be a better player. And Gianna Neepkins could be the better player. So I'm all of these players that are there at 6-7, doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if it's Flau'jae, if it's... some people are saying Flau'jae is going to fall to 10. There is no way an expansion franchise is going to have the opportunity to take Flau'jae Johnson and say no. There's just not. There's no way Flau'jae falls past 6 because of everything outside of basketball as well. That being said, this is really mad. This... Anywhere the expansion draft will use a snake draft format. No, it won't use a snake draft format because the quote-unquote college draft is being affected by it. So it won't be a snake draft format. It is going to be a coin flip. The team that doesn't pick first, teams are incentivized to lose the coin flip. Imagine the difference in VORP between number 6 and 7 is significant. Not in this year's draft. Neither can be scheduled until the new CBA is ratified, which can take several weeks. According to the memo sent in late February, we know when it's going to happen, but they have no idea of the rules. There is no situation. The CBA is done. They should know the rules. There should be the only thing is, I think in general, there is going to be they kind of know. Anyone saying the Valks should protect Kayla Thornton's a fucking dumbass. Why would the Valks protect Kayla Thornton? She's not going to be cored. She's not going to be cored. You can just bring her back. Why would you protect Kayla Thornton instead of protecting what other young players do the Valks have? I'm actually do they actually have instead of protecting Carla Late? No wonder they've blocked me because they're a dumbass. Why the hell would the Valks protect an unrestricted free agent and let Carla Late, who is a 21-year-old elite point guard, leave? Who, by the way, if Carla Late was in college, would be the second best point guard in this draft. She's better than Janet Martin. She would be better, she's younger and better than Flau'jae at this point in time. Today. Yes, Flau'jae has more upside, but Carla Late's elite. But that being said, if they're a dumbass and they let Carla Late walk, the Dallas Wings were idiots for letting Carla Late walk to Golden State. And if Golden State let Carla Late walk, that'll be madness, absolute madness. But clearly not knowing what's going on is not ideal for anyone. It's not ideal for anyone in this year's draft, and it's not ideal for obviously the Valks. It's not ideal for why do I say the Valks? It's not ideal for the Fire. It's not ideal for the Tempo. It's not ideal for fans of any of these franchises. It's not ideal for just WNBA fans in general. It's not when we're looking at the 5 players, my expectation is that a lot of people are oh, Sophie Cunningham can get cored. Hell no, she won't. You're going to be seeing the Wings, for example. My expectation is if the Wings are smart, they're tanking one more year. The Wings going for it now pull a Chicago Sky. The Wings tanking one more year. Could you imagine adding, because you have to tank one more year because of the Paige Bueckers getting affected by the Caitlin Clark rule. Because of that rule, you have to tank for an extra year. Because of, in hindsight, if the Caitlin Clark rule was brought in and you thought Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark were going to cost a max salary a year early, the Indiana Fever would have tanked the 2024 season. They would have tanked the 2024 season. The Christie Side season, they would have tanked that season to give them a shot at Paige Bueckers, Kiki, Citron. They would have tanked one more year. If they had known they would have to pay, they would have needed more young players. They would not have traded that number 8 pick for Sophie Cunningham. And first of all, I don't know why the fuck did they trade that number 8 pick. Do you want to know why they traded the number 8 pick? It wasn't for Sophie Cunningham. People are they traded it. They wanted to get off the contract so they could take DeWanna Bonner. It's as simple as that. They wanted to get off the contract so that they could pay DeWanna Bonner. Because there is no way in hell that it would have taken a first-round pick and Alyssa Smith to get Sophie Cunningham. There is no way. They just didn't want to use their first-round pick. They wanted the contract difference between 8 and 19. And I don't even think they wanted to use that 19 pick. I think they wanted Jaylen Brown on the team. But KK Timpson was there for them at 19. I think they were probably expecting to draft Bree Hall and maybe even a Von Ejim at 19 or someone that wasn't going to make the team and just leave it at that. That being said, not knowing the rules is not an ideal scenario all around for the Tempo and the Portland Fire. I think there's going to be a lot of good players for them in the expansion draft, so it's not the end of the world. My expectation is that Arike is going to be available. I think Azure is going to be available. I'm just trying to think of who could be cored. And because of these new contracts, I don't know if Kalia Copper's used up her 2 core years. If she hasn't used up her 2 core years, she could be available. Potentially, if Phoenix are you know what, because of the concussion, we don't feel comfortable protecting Satu Sabali. We want to protect Lexi Held. We want to protect, or not Excel, a Kat Westbeld, a Monica Cole-McCanny. They might just say, look, these are more benefit. Like, we need these players. We can't afford Satu anyway. We want to keep Copper instead of Satu, so we might as well just have them draft Satu. Like, there's a world where that happens. Like, there is going to be, by the way, a all-star level player taking the expansion draft. And if people don't realize it, I don't know who it's going to be. Like, Bree Jones has used up her core years, so it can't be her. Like, we might see, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. Like, we're not going to see like an Ariel Atkins go from Chicago. Fuck it, we might see an Ariel Atkins go from Chicago. Like, we could see a team coring a player and just giving them away for nothing. Like, Arike might, obviously, Arike is a player people think, but because of the no 3 max players, like, I don't know if John Quell's eligible to be taken, but like, we could see an expansion team taking John Quell. Like, Sab and Stewie obviously are going to be there in New York. In Seattle, like, what are the odds that they let Gabby Williams walk for nothing? Brittany Sykes not very well. Brittany Sykes is going to be left unprotected. I don't know about her core situation, but we could be seeing Brittany Sykes coming off an all-star season be taken. So it's very different than last year, where they have to be really creative, where they like take Maria Conde from Chicago instead of Dana Evans. They take a player like Ileana Rupert from Atlanta when everyone thought they were taking Haley Jones. So all this being said, it's going to be a lot more star-studded and big names in this year's draft, and I think they're going to get some pretty decent players. But anyway, I'll see you guys.